Right, so we're going to be making a wrapped cover using the brand new book binding kit. I love this set, and I'm going to start off with some grey board, and these measure 6 3/8, forget my boo-boo, 6 3/8 by 5 5/8, so you need 2 of those, and these are exactly the same size as the pages, and the spine piece here is 6 3/8 by 5 5/8. Now I'm going to be starting off with 2 pieces of A4 cardstock here. This is 220 GSM, and I've just popped a bit of red tape there just to join these two together, because this is a longish sort of album. So if you have an A3 piece of cardstock, you could use that instead, but otherwise just join 2 of these together and they will be exactly the right size for you to get started. So there are going to be some offcuts from this as well, so don't need that just yet. We're going to be moving over to the reinforcing piece first. So this is the reinforcing paper. Now I have a sample here. We're going to be sticking this on the back just like so. You'd have seen this in previous sneak peeks. So I'm going to be starting off by adding, there's lots of things here to show you. I have here some double-sided adhesive as well, so I have 4 already cut for the covers, 2 pieces for the spine. I'll keep that there. And just if you're wondering where I got that from, this is the Creative Craft Products double-sided adhesive sheets. There's a pack of 6 there, so that will do you a good few albums. Okay, so let's get these all glued on, and then we can pop this onto just realised I did do a mistake. It's not 5 5/8, I just got carried away there. It's 2 1/4. Yes, 2 1/4. Let's fix that before you start cutting away. So that's 2 1/4. Okay, so that is on there. So the reason why we have this reinforcing paper here is because, I'll show you on the spine, this moves about an awful lot and we can get some tearing here from wear and tear. The great thing about this reinforcing paper is it's virtually untearable. It's super sturdy and strong, but you can cut it with scissors and a trimmer, so it's perfect for your mini albums. So I'm just going to pop this off there. You do get a little squeegee, which I'll get out in a moment, in the book binding kit, just to press anything down. So I'm just going to pop that on there first. Okay, and we're going to pop these on. So you can try and guess all these spaces. If it's too short like that, too little of a gap, there's a chance that when the book closes you will get cracking on the outside bit of the hinge. That's not a great look. So what we're going to do is we're just going to be using, for the perfect gap, some of these tools here. So here's the squeegee, here is the T-bar tool. So that is going to give you the perfect amount of space there. So there's no more guessing, no more measuring out and trying to get things straight. That is going to keep it all nice and straight. So I'm just going to add a bit of glue just along here and just along there, and I should probably move away my blue card as well. I don't want to make any mistakes. Okay, so let's add the glue here, and then I'm going to do the same on the other side as well. Just a bit of glue here. If you want to use just a little bit of tape as well, you can do that. Glue will stick very well to this reinforcing paper. It will just take a little bit of extra time to dry. So let's get that on there, hold that in place and pop that on. Okay, do exactly the same the other side. There we go. That's done. How easy was that? Super easy. Okay, right. So now I have some more double-sided tape sheets here, so I'm going to add both onto that one and then these two onto there, and then I shall be right back. Oh, and don't forget the middle piece as well. Okay, so I've got my squeegee here. I'm just going to press that down. You can also use this for mixed media, but I'm just going to keep this just for this job. But if you do use it for anything else, make sure you clean this really well afterwards. I can recycle all of my peel off bits. Okay, so I do have some more offcuts in here. I'm keeping everything together in here. So I do have a piece that I can use just for this back section. It's the right height, so I'm just going to take off everything there. You just fold it back like that if you think it might get in the way. Okay, so we are now ready to have this put onto our bit of card that we have already prepared. So I'm just going to take off the backing pieces here, and if you want to, you can use this L-shaped ruler here just to guide this on, but I do want this section here where the card overlaps right in the center of the spine here, because I don't really want it on the back cover or in a funny old place like that. So I'm just going to make sure that's straight first, and then I'm going to take this and then place that on there. There we go. Okay, so I haven't gone straight up to the ruler, but I have used it as a straight guide. Okay, so now we can take this, grab yourself a craft knife. This is another creative product. I love this one. Just love the fact that it comes with a nice little lid and a little pack of spare blades as well. So keep your fingers away from the edge of the ruler while you do this. Go over that a couple of times. There we go, and then we can just turn the ruler over and go this way and just carry on. Again, keep your fingers free and away from the edge there. There we go. Okay, so now we have something that looks like that. So let's do the corners. Now this is another one of my favourite noodles. This one I love probably just as much as this one here. These are my two favourites from the whole kit. So this slots on and is held in place because it's dipped in here, so it holds it just perfectly in the right place. So if we do that with our craft knife and chop the corner off there, you will see it's left a little bit of a gap there, which is the perfect amount there for a wrapped cover. So let's just do all the other 4 sides, or the other remaining 3 sides. See, this is really going to speed up any sort of wrapped cover that you would like to do. There we go. Right, so now grab yourself a bone folder, and I'm just going to run this along the edge. Just there. That's going to really help this cardstock to fold around the grey board. There we go. And then just bend this over before we take any of the backing off. Just bend this over so that it's going to be easier for when you do actually take the backing off and get that stuck down. So let's take the backing off next. So I've already pressed this in really well into the grey board there with my squeegee tool. So it should be quite easy now to just lift that off. Use a poker tool or a craft knife blade or something like that just to help you lift that up. Okay, so we're going to be starting in the middle at the top there. So we're going to be folding that over and then pressing down. Okay, that's the technique, but I also like to add just a little bit of extra glue. I'm using Cosmic Shimmer here. So I'm just going to add extra glue. Using extra glue is perfectly fine to use on top of your double-sided tape or anything like that. It just makes it last longer once it's down, because what you don't want is any of your mini albums and all your hard work to start coming undone. Okay, so do exactly the same on the other side. That needs to stay out of my way. There we go. We can bend this over and then press that around. Okay, now we can do the corners. So this is why it's important, why we have that excess bit there coming off the corner, because it means that when we fold this over, you're not going to have a bit of this grey board corner poking out once it's wrapped. So what we need to do is just flatten it and fold it in slightly, just like that. Add our glue, go right into this edge here because there's no glue here, and then fold that in and then press down with the bone folder. And I will just show you, we have some lovely corners there. So do exactly the same on the other side, just fold those in. There we go. Add your glue, make sure you get them on these parts here as well, some in the middle, and then fold that over. There we go. So all we have to do now is cut out some paper for the liner, and then that is our book cover almost done. Okay, so I have two pieces here measuring 6 by 6 3/4. We're going to pop those on there. There is going to be a bit of a gap in the middle, but that's fine because the binding is going to cover that perfectly. So I'm just going to add some extra glue just along these sections. This wants to just drag. It's making a funny noise. Okay, so why have I done that? These are points there where the paper is going to want to naturally lift when it folds and closes, so adding a little bit of reinforcing glue there is really going to help. So I'm just adding glue all the way around here. I'm just doing this quickly, but do take your time getting that on there. You can add some extra glue there if you want to as well. So let's get this down. You can make this bigger if you want to. I was just trying to be economic with the cutting of my 12 by 12 sheet of paper. Okay, so do exactly the same on the other side. Okay, so as you can see, as I said, there is a gap there. That's fine because we're going to be covering that with the binding piece. Okay, so there we go. That is the wrapped cover. It's all wrapped now, so all we have to do now is fold these up gently. Give your glue a little bit of time to dry. I'm going to grab my squeegee tool wherever I've popped it. There it is, it's under the paper. So pop your finger there just in the middle of the spine and just gently lift that up so that you can see where that fold starts to form. So grab this and pop it there. Don't press too hard because that is quite a thin end to that squeegee, so don't press too hard, but just guide it up as you go. Now you will get a little bit of lifting here from the paper, so you can see there a little bit of bubbling there, so just go in with your bone folder because the glue should still be slightly wet still, and just press that down. There we go. This is why we needed that rather large gap there with the T-tool, because we have all of these layers. We have the reinforcing paper, we have the cardstock, and the paper lining, which is 250 GSM. There we go, that is the first one. Now just repeat that with the other side. Okay, there we go. And all I've got to do now is just fix this buckling and bubbling just there. Again, the glue should be able to fix that once you've pressed that in. Okay, and that is how you make the wrapped cover with the grey board, the bookbinding toolkit, and the reinforcing paper.